Hello, I'm Susanna Wright, and I'm here to tell you about the paper I published in the Journal of Analytical Psychology in June 2020. It's called Analytic Attitude, Focus or Embodiment, Subtle Communications in the Transference and Countertransference Relationship. And don't worry, the title is probably the most complicated thing about it. The paper will be available to download free on Wiley's Journal website for the next year, and I'll also be presenting it online if you'd rather watch a video. At one level, this paper is about recovery from the kind of analytic impasse that can happen when interpretation of the transference becomes so persecutory that it undermines the development of trust and a working alliance. At this level, it's about a befallment, an event that breaks through into the process from the unconscious and inflicts on the analyst a disintegration, even a kind of breakdown of the protection afforded by her role as analyst. This brings more equality and can offer more authenticity to the analytic relationship. In trying to understand one such event, I came across a very interesting paper by an analyst called Ernest Schachtel, who contrasts narrowly focused attention with what he calls global awareness. He considers the defensive potential of narrow focus and the aesthetic quality of reverie in global awareness. For the purposes of this introduction, I'll just say that if analytic work becomes narrowly, even comfortably focused on shared images and objects, then the excluded, shadowy background of transference and countertransference may return with a sudden eruption of the unconscious, a befallment. The embodied experiences of overwhelm and vulnerability reside in the shadowy realms that remain unlit by the narrow torch beam of conscious awareness. A haunting dream was brought by the patient at around the time of the events described and offered deep insight into the situation. It later became a catalyst for subsequent exploration through this paper. After my lapses into unconsciousness, I was exposed to a persecutory superego and sense of professional inadequacy. And this was significant because until then, the persecutory superego had been carried by the patient alone. The patient's attitude towards the analyst when such events occur, if rapport is chosen over mutual persecution, is discussed as a factor of overriding importance for the achievement of greater embodied integration. Conscious formulation can be elusive, and the paper discusses the need sometimes to hold on to such befallments, keep them in mind over long periods of time before any explanation can be adumbrated. I do hope the paper may be helpful for you in thinking about your own analytic work. Thanks. Bye-bye.